An alarming number of our students in every grade level suffer from anxiety, depression, lack self-esteem, and have low self-confidence. This makes it extremely difficult for them to focus on their academics, let alone be motivated to even attend school. Our public schools do a great job at recognizing the academic reasons why students struggle, but we are not as effective at recognizing many of the non-academic reasons that our students are struggling. Too many of our students are falling through the cracks, are held back, or drop out simply because no one took the time to build a positive and trusting relationship with these students. Building these positive relationships helps empower all of our students to recognize their strengths and learn skills to help them thrive both inside and outside of the classroom. The U.S. Department of Education tells us that 400,000 children in the United States live in foster care, 270,000 of them school-aged. The Maine Children's Alliance tells us that 2,204 children in the state of Maine live in foster care, with 1,136 of them being school-aged. Students living in these conditions suffer from various social and emotional issues, from being removed from their parents, their families, inconsistent visitation schedules, doctor's appointments, court dates. It's no wonder that they find it hard to focus in school. Poverty is another non-academic issue that many of our students struggle with. Again, the Maine Children's Alliance tells us that 33,000 children in the state of Maine live in poverty, 23,500 of them school-aged. Living in poverty impacts their health, along with their cognitive, social, and emotional skills. The third non-academic issue that our students struggle with is mental health. Children from all backgrounds of life struggle with anxiety and depression. Maine Children's Alliance again tells us that 6.1% of children ages 3 to 17 suffer from depression, compared to 4.8% nationally. And in the state of Maine, 16.5%, or 1 out of every 6 of our students, suffers from anxiety, compared to 10% nationally. Students who struggle with anxiety and depression have extremely difficult times focusing, let alone even being motivated to attend school. So what does all this data tell me as an educator in the state of Maine? It tells me that in an average first grade classroom in the state of Maine with 25 students, 2 of them have been born drug exposed, 3 of them live in poverty, 5 of them have experienced multiple childhood adverse experiences, 8 of them live in single family homes, and 1 out of every 2 of those classrooms has a child who has experienced child abuse. It's no wonder that with all of these things that our students are struggling with, that they have difficulty in school. So my question is, what can schools do to help? As I mentioned earlier, it's extremely important for teachers, administrators, and other school employees to intentionally build positive and trusting relationships with all of our students. Far too often, a particular group of students gets focused on more or less than others. Many times our schools, and no fault to our own, focus too much on the academics and less on the people sitting right in front of them. When every student walks into a school knowing that they're understood, cared for, and supported, we will develop school climates that empower all of our students to thrive, both inside and outside of the classroom. Building positive relationships with students is not easy. It requires teachers that are patient, kind, don't hold grudges and records of wrongdoing, and then never give up and endure through every circumstance. In other words, and in the words of Eugene Park, our teachers need to love their students. Love meaning L, we need to listen to them. When we listen to them, we learn their stories, and we learn about their lives outside of school and their interests that can help us accommodate for them. O is to observe them. When we observe our students, we learn a lot of the nonverbal cues that tell us that something is off, and maybe it has nothing to do with the assignment sitting in front of them. We can pull them aside, talk to them, listen to them, and help them. V is for making them feel valued. When our students feel valued, they feel that they're part of the classroom, and it helps with the overall learning environment. And finally, E is for empower. When we empower our students through love, we help them build their self-confidence, their self-esteem, and they will begin to thrive. Through all of this, in the end, we earn their trust and their respect, something that for many of them is difficult to give to an adult authority figure. One situation that I ran into 3 years ago when I switched to a new school district was a program called Building Assets or Reducing Risks, or BAR for short. This program takes cohorts of teachers and students, and the whole purpose is to intentionally invest in those students, learn about them, and help them thrive, both academically and socially. One example I have for you today is a student who freshman year missed much of the first quarter due to surgeries that she was having. This quickly caused her to fall behind and the anxiety set in, and she was failing all her classes and felt that there's no way that I'm going to be passing. This year is basically a wash. However, through the BAR program, my cohort of teachers, we were able to get her the academic support that she needed, put her in structured study hall, academic recovery, and slowly over time, with our intentionality and holding her accountable, she was able to get caught up in class. And as the school year went on, the relationships that we built with her helped us learn that there's things going on at home that are also playing a role in all of this. We were able to use school resources through the guidance department and our school social worker to help her learn how to cope with many of those issues. And by the fourth quarter of the school year, she achieved something that she never thought was possible because it was something she had never done before. Starting out in the first quarter, failing all of her classes, ending the fourth quarter, making the honor roll. It motivated her to succeed further through sophomore, junior, senior year, and beyond. As a teacher, coach, parent, and foster parent, I have seen firsthand the power of positive and trusting relationships. These relationships that I've built over the years have transformed my life more than my students most often. I believe that when we model empathy, intentionality, and purposely engage the students, we not only impact their lives, but the lives of their parents, our colleagues, and our community members. Collectively, all of these relationships foster a positive school climate that addresses many of these non-academic issues that will help our students thrive. I leave you today with one final quote from Dr. Les Parrott. Loving others is not efficient. It takes time away from our own agenda-driven pace, but it allows us to see what others don't. My question for you is, do our schools see things in our students that others don't? Thank you.